This is Rajesh here.
Good evening to all of you. Rahul here.
Hi Rahul, Prem here.
Yeah, Prem, good evening. Everybody, good evening. Is it my audio is clear to everybody? Hello.
Hello, good morning, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Rahul, I was able to hear.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So today concept we are going to learn about the differentiation between the leading ledgers and the non-leading ledgers. First of all, let me understand the concept of a ledger here. What exactly the meaning of ledger is going to be? A ledger is nothing but it is a central tenant actually. So all the accounting transactions are going to be consolidated in a ledger. We call it as the accounting transactions. When I call it as accounting transactions, we can see there are various accounting transactions are getting posted in a company. For example, if I take a manufacturing company, from the procurement of the raw material till the goods have been sold to a customer, till the invoice has been raised, till the payments we have received from the customer, till we close the accounts. So all the transactions, whatever the financial accounting transactions, which is going to be impacting to my general ledger. So all these accounting transactions are getting consolidated in one book of accounting. In one book, that book we are going to be calling it as a ledger. This ledger book is mainly useful for us to extract our financial statements. If we come to a year-end closing activity, something like if you are closing your year-end, so last year, okay, something like December 31st is our closing year. So we have to extract our P&L account and balance sheet. So if I want to extract the P&L account and balance sheet, I need to have some books of accounting entries should be stored. So that books of accounting entry is nothing but a ledger here. We are going to be calling it as a ledger. Normally, we'll call it as a general ledger. General ledger is the central tenant of total accounting system. Okay, so the concept of ledger is very clear here. So without the ledger, I cannot do any kind of financial accounting transactions. I cannot extract my financial statement for the external reporting purpose. In SAP, we have two ledgers. Okay. In SAP, we can maintain multiple ledgers. What do you mean by multiple ledgers? So one is going to be called as leading ledger, and the second one we call it as a non-leading ledger. Second one we call it as a non-leading ledger. In SAP, there is a concept called as parallel accounting. I'll tell you what do you mean by parallel accounting, which is very, very important actually. Parallel accounting. So the concept of parallel accounting is very, very important. Okay. So we are come to know about what is the parallel accounting and everything. Okay. The leading ledger, we call it as a main ledger. Very, very important. Okay, please make a note, make a statement of this. The leading ledger is called as a main ledger for the reporting purpose for a company code. Company code is nothing but a legal entity. Without the company code, I cannot do any financial transactions. Company code is the legal entity for a company. Very, very important. Okay, you can have multiple company codes. You can have multiple company codes. If I take an example here, I'll take one example. I'll take an example. Okay, I'm taking one example which is going to be called as something like, okay, I'm taking about the John Deere. John Deere is a manufacturing company, a tractors, automobiles manufacturing company. Example I'm taking here. So John Deere is holding the business in 3 countries. John Deere is holding the manufacturing business in 3 countries. For example, I'm going to be taking. So one country which I'm going to be taking in India, one country I'm going to be taking in the US, one company I'm going to be taking in Europe, okay, in any country like Germany. Okay, I'll take it as Germany. Okay, it is having 3 business areas in 3 different countries. Okay, now if I take USA, if I take India, and I take the Germany. Okay, I take the Germany. Now, if I see my reporting system, if I see my country level, if I see my local financial reporting system, 3 different countries are going to be using 3 different local reporting system. If I come to the country US, I am using the reporting system called as the local GAAP, which is going to be called as the US GAAP. I call it as the US GAAP. US GAAP is the reporting system. US GAAP I'm going to be using according to the standard. If I come to the India, I am going to be using the local GAAP or IFRS. IFRS is my reporting system. If I come to the Germany, I'll use the local GAAP. So according to the country level, so we are going to be using 3 different reporting system. One country have one reporting system, another country will have another reporting system. Based on that, so 3 countries, 3 different reporting systems have been maintained. Now for US, if I'm doing the transactions, okay, US, I'm doing the local transactions for a particular company for a manufacturing. So what I will do here, I will create a one company code. I'll create a one company code. Without the company code, I cannot record any financial transactions. As I told you in the earlier, like if it is a manufacturing company or something like service oriented company, I'm doing a lot of transactions. Day-to-day transactions are getting posted from the manufacturing to till the goods have been sold to the customer, lot of accounting transactions. So I want to have a separate financial statement for USA. I want to have a separate financial statement for India, and I want to have separate financial statement for country Germany. So what is the local currency here we are going to be using? The local currency here I'm going to be using called as the US. That is going to be called as the US dollars. Okay, so USD. Okay, and in India we are going to be using INR, and in Germany we are going to be using called as, okay, Euro. Okay, EUR, Euro. These all are going to be called as the local currencies. These are going to be called as the local currencies. Now, I want to have a separate company code. Okay, so what I'm going to be using, so US 10 is the separate company code for US, IN 10 is the separate company code. IN 10 is the separate company code, and DE 10 is the separate company code for Germany. So 3 different company codes I'm going to be using. And for each and every company code, I am assigning a currency that is going to be called as a local currency. In SAP, we call it as a company code currency. We call it as a company code currency. The company code currency for USD is USA, that is for the USD for US 10, and the company code currency for IN 10 is INR, and the company code currency for DE 10 is nothing but the Euro. So these all are going to be called as the local currencies. Local currency. So at the month end or something like year end closing activities are going to be done. So I'm extracting my financial statements in local currencies. Based on the company code assigned with the currency here. And I have one more currency which is going to be called as the group currency at the group level. Why? Because I am assigning all these 3 countries, all these 3 company codes to one company. This is what exactly I call it as a trading partner. We call it as a trading partner. I'll tell what is the meaning. We call it as a trading partner. Trading partner is nothing but we normally use the trading partner for the intercompany transactions. Okay, Within the same company, we have different company codes. Within the same company, we have the different company codes. If you see this example, I have 3 company codes. Okay, if you want to have the intercompany transactions between the US 10 to the IN 10 or IN 10 to the DE 10 or US 10 to the DE 10 or DE 10 to the US 10, so we are going to be having the intercompany transactions within the same company. So this particular company, whatever the company we are going to be using, for this company, I am assigning all these 3 company codes. These 3 company codes belongs to the same company. That is going to be called as a John Deere. We call it as a trading partner. Now, at the final, okay, I want to have one group currency. Yes, you have defined the local currency for each and every company code wise. Okay, this is at the local reporting system. But if I want to see the consolidated financial statement at the company level, at the group level, we can assign only one currency. We can assign only one currency at the group level. So what I'm going to be using, I'm using the USD, the same currency. I'm using the USD as a group currency. Very, very important. I'm using the USD as a group currency for all these 3 company codes. So here, how many currencies we have? We have the local currency type and we have the group currency. So I'm writing the local currency.
Hi, Mahesh. So why we selected US as a group currency? Can we select any other currency as a group?
Any other, sir? It is an example which I'm providing right now in the board. Okay, you can have any other currency. Here, only the example.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So here we have 2 currency types. One currency type is called as the local currency type, or it is also called as a company code currency also. Okay, so either you can call the local currency or company code currency. Okay, and the second currency, we have the one more currency. Just now we have called it as a group currency. Okay, group currency. Okay, I'll do one thing. I just copy this and I'll maintain here. Okay, group currency or the company code currency. And the second one, we have one more currency called as a group currency. Okay. So in SAP, what we will do normally actually to tell to the SAP what type of currencies we are going to be using, okay, what type of currencies we are going to be using for, okay, for each and every company wise, I need to define the currencies here. So it is called as a company code currency or a group currency, a company code currency or local currency. This is going to be, okay, this is going to be given with a code called as a 10. 10 is nothing but these are going to be defined. Currency types, we call them as the currency types. Very, very important. What is the currency type for the local currency or the company code currency? The currency type for the local currency or company code currency is a 10. It is a default in SAP. And what is the currency type for the group currency? Here the group currency is our USD. Here the group currency we are going to be using. So the group currency type is always will be the 30. Very, very important. So we have 2 currency types right now in this example, but we have multiple currency types. In the coming sessions, we are going to discuss all those things. So one is going to be called as the company code currency. Second one is going to be called as the group currency. So these are the 2 currency types. So now what is going to be happen? This is my arc structure. This is what exactly my arc structure. So I have 3 company codes. Okay, for each and every company code, I am using different. Now when I come into the financial years, so the opening and closing of the financial statement for USA is from the Jan to December. And if I come to the country India, it is from April to March. And when I come to the Germany, it is also from Jan to December. Example I'm going, okay? It is also from Jan to December. So these are going to be called my financial years. In SAP, we call them as the fiscal years. We call them as the fiscal years. Okay, we call them as the fiscal years. So this is completely my arc structure. This is completely my arc structure of about my SAP. So I'm just removing this. I'll maintain out. Okay, so just let me remove this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is my arc structure. So in SAP, we have leading ledger concept and the non-leading ledger concept. For every company code, for every company code to extract your local financial statement. See, very, very important. I'm using the words local, which is going to be called as the parent company code. We call them as the parent company code. So if you want to extract the local reportings for every company code level, so I want to have one leading ledger, which is going to be called as a default.
Going to work or something?
No, just went to the gym.
Yes, excuse me, any doubts? Friends, any doubts? Okay, so what I'll do here, okay, now I'm going to be assigned, there should be one leading ledger. Without the leading ledger, okay, I should have one leading ledger for every company code. Very, very important. This concept is very, very important. Just I want to make it this small, okay? Okay, now every company coach which is assigned to a particular company, there should be a one leading ledger. Okay, it is a default. It is a default. In SAP, we have a leading ledger. That leading ledger is going to be called as OL. OL. 0L is the leading ledger, and by default, you have 0 ledger is the leading ledger, and by default, you have a 0L is the leading ledger for all these 3 company codes. Okay, leading ledger is called as a parent ledger for the local reporting system. If you want to have any reportings, if you want to prepare any reporting, or if you want to have a financial statement, something like after the year-end closings activities are completed, all the accounting entries are getting posted at the leading ledger level. Very, very important. So we have one leading ledger. Only one leading ledger, which is going to be called as a parent ledger. Okay, so very, very important. All the accounting transactions are getting by default getting posted to the leading ledger. For example, I'll do one example now. Okay, now I'm posting on accounting. Let me open a new PPT. Okay, now I'm posting a one accounting transaction. Let us assume that now I'm posting an accounting transaction, which is going to be called as, now I'm doing something accounting entry called as a, okay, my travel expenses are getting debited. My travel expenses are getting debited, and my cash or bank account is getting created. So cash or bank account is getting created. This is an accounting entry. This accounting entry I'm posting to a company code called as a US 10. Okay, US 10 on which date? Today. Okay, so today, okay, 02/01/2019. Okay, today is the date. This is called as the posting date. Now, when this accounting entry is getting posted to a company code US 10, by default is okay. You need not to specify which ledger. You need not to specify what ledger you have to be get posted. So by default, the system, what it is going to do, it is getting posted to a ledger called as a OL, which is called as a 0L, which is called as a main ledger, which is called as a parent ledger, which is called as a parent ledger. So for every company code, there will be one leading ledger, only one leading ledger. So for this leading ledger, for this particular leading ledger, we are assigning to a company code, and we are telling which currency, that is the USD, and what is the financial year, that is from Jan to December. Okay, for this leading ledger, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be making the setting, okay, for which company code you are assigning this leading ledger. Okay, what is the currency of the leading ledger, and what is the fiscal year of the leading ledger, like this. So all these 3 are very, very important parameters where we are going to be defining for a leading ledger. So according to my reporting system, there is a one accounting principle. Okay, as I told you in my earlier session, that is what exactly. Okay, according to my USD, what is the reporting system you are going to be using? US GAAP. US GAAP is going to be, you are going to be using for a reporting system for the US country. So what I will do, I will assign this US GAAP. I will assign this US GAAP to the ledger called as OL. So what I will do, for this ledger, I will assign one accounting principle. That accounting principle is going to be called as a US GAAP. US GAAP. So now it is very clear to the SAP that yes, your leading ledger is 0L. You're assigned to the company code called as a US 10. And for this leading ledger, what is the company code currency? It is a USD. And what is the fiscal year? That is from the Jan to December. So what is the reporting system you're going to be using for the local GAAP? For the leading ledger, you are using the US GAAP over here. You are going to be using the US GAAP. like this, I have one more ledger also. Okay, like this, for each and every company code level, for each and every company code level, okay, for every company code, there will be one leading ledger, and you can have multiple non-leading ledgers. You can have multiple non-leading ledgers. I'll tell one example now. Hey, Mahesh, okay, our reporting system is from Jan to December. Okay, right, very good. Okay, reporting. Okay, your reporting year is Jan to December. Okay, very good. Okay, this concept is very good. Okay, so your reporting system is from Jan to December. One second, one second. Okay, thank you. So my reporting system for US company code, my reporting system is from the Jan to December. So I'm using the currency called as the USD. Okay, very, very important concept, please. Okay, very, very important concept. So for this, I'm using the leading ledger, OL. And also we do some postings. And also we do some postings from, okay, for the country, okay, for the country India. We have the business in India also. So we are doing some accounting transactions for the country in India, that is from April to March. April to March. Very, very important. Now, let us assume like this. Yeah, anybody has any doubts? Something like 1 second.
Yes, Mahesh. So
Yeah.
you're talking about the chart of account, right? The
No,
ledger.
chart of accounts will not come. No, chart of accounts will not come over here. I'm just talking about the currency and the ledgers here.
So when we have the chart of account on the basis of country, right? So if we have India.
No. See, that is completely different. Chart of accounts is the skeleton of the GL accounts, where we have the three different chart of accounts, like operational chart of account, we have group chart of accounts, and we have a country specific chart of account. That is the concept difference.
Okay.
Now we are talking about the reporting systems of different currencies for the different ledgers.
So how many ledgers we can have for one company?
Yeah, that's what I am coming to that point. I'm coming to that point. Okay, there should be one leading ledger for every company code. It is a mandatory. There should be a one leading ledger. So I just told in my previous diagram that if you take three company codes are there for your company joined here. Okay, you are doing the business in US 10. So you have created one company code. All the accounting transactions are maintained in the US 10, and one company code is the IN 10, and one company code is going to be called as the DG 10 for the Germany. So for all these three legal independent company codes, there should be one leading ledger should be assigned. One leading ledger I'm assigning OL is for the US. So you can, it is not compulsory that, okay, it is not a compulsory that you should have all the three. It depends upon the requirement of your business. Okay. So I have three company codes over here. So all the three company codes have been assigned with one leading ledger. You can have multiple non-leading ledgers. You can have multiple non-leading ledgers, which are going to be called as a chain ledgers. Okay, so I'll tell you one example here. In this example, okay, now what is the reporting? Now I want to have two reporting systems for the same company code, for the US 10 company code, because I'm doing the transactions between the two different reporting systems. One reporting system is going to be called as the US GAAP. Another reporting system I'm using as an IFRS. Why? Because see, okay, there is a consultant whose name is going to be called as a Rahul. Example I'm taking, Rahul. Okay, actually he works for a company code called as a US 10 company code. He works for a company code called as a US 10 company code. Okay, very, very important concept. Very, very important concept. Now, as on the deputation, okay, on the deputation, he has been traveled to India. He has been traveled to India. Example, very, very important. Okay, now according to the salary payment to Mr. Rahul, according to the company code to the US 10, actually I am doing the transactions from Jan to December. From the Jan to December in the currency called as the USD. In the currency called as the USD. Every month we are making the salary payment for Rahul in the currency called as USD. Now on the deputation purpose, he has been traveled to India now. But in India, Same company code. I'm not using the different company code. I'm using the same company code. Okay, same company code. Okay, this is for the reporting system I'm maintaining. This is for US GAAP reporting system. I'm maintaining this structure. Okay, very, very important. Now, this is for the US GAAP. But I'm doing the transactions. But I'm doing the transactions in another reporting system also. But if the Rahul is traveling to India, very, very important. I am also making the payments in USD, the same currency. But here, the fiscal year is from April to March. Very, very important. But here, the fiscal year is April to March, not from Jan to December. Not from Jan to December. Here, the fiscal year is from the 8th to December. And for this, I want to maintain a separate IFRS reporting system here. This is for the IFRS reporting system. So I am making the salaries to Mr. Rahul in the USD, but here the fiscal year change. If he's working in US, so I can maintain the same Jan to December. But he on the deputation he has been traveled to India, but here the fiscal year is from April to March. So here there is a deviation is there in the fiscal year. There is a deviation is there in the fiscal year from a US company to the Indian company. So what is happening here? So when I come to US, it is from Jan to December. And when I come to India, it is from April to March. Okay. Now here, yes, according to my fiscal year from Jan to December, my opening and closing of the periods is from the January 1st. That is from the first period, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, this is what exactly I'm going to be using. Okay, this is very, very important, please. Very, very important. January, February, March. Okay, like this, it is up to December. Okay, this is up to December. But when I come to April to March, here the same parameters, here the same thing I'm going to be using here also. Okay, but here the periods are going to be starting from April, not from the December, not from the January. So here the first period is going to be the April and the last period is going to be called as the March. Very, very important. Okay, April, May, June, okay, July, August, September, October, November, December, and it is from the January, February, and March. Okay. Now this is what exactly the different fiscal years. Different. I'm using the currency USD only. Okay, even though Rahul is traveling to India, I'm using the currency called as USD. I want to have now here the two reporting systems are coming into my picture. One is the US GAAP, another one is the IFRS. So I want to have two reporting systems to the same company code. That same company code means you want to have the same company code means US 10 only. US 10. Okay. So I am doing the transactions in the US 10 company code, not in the IN 10 company code. Even the Rahul is traveling, okay, my salary payments are going to be, salary account is getting debited, salary account is getting debited, and my cash or bank account is getting created for the company code US 10, not for the IN 10. Very, very important. This is the concept. So this accounting entry I am posting for US 10 company code, US 10 company code. But what I have to specify here, the specifications are very, very important. So, but here when I come to the transactions for India, that is for INR, the reporting system is completely different from the reporting system of US 10. That is for the USS. So here I want to have the reporting called as a US GAAP, and here I want to show the reports in IFRS. Very, very important for IFRS. So in this case, my leading ledger is going to be the US GAAP, and what I will do, I'll create one more ledger. I will create one more ledger which is going to be called as a non-leading ledger. Non-leading ledger, very, very important. So I'll create one non-leading ledger. Okay. So that non-leading ledger name I'm giving as a something like N1. Example N1, because my leading ledger is always will my OL. Okay. I'm creating a one more ledger called as a N1. N1 is called as a non-leading ledger. And this N1, what I will do, I will assign to the same company code. If I take the company code US10, I have two ledgers. One is going to be called as a leading ledger. Another one is going to be called as a non-leading ledger. This leading ledger is for the US GAAP, and this non-leading ledger I am using for the IFRS. Now, very, very important. As you are telling that the salary account which is going to be debiting for your cash and bank account, are you using the INR currency or USD currency? No, I am using the same dollar only. I am using the USD, not INR. Very, very important. Very, very important. So when I take the non-leading ledger, which currency is going to be the default? Very, very important. When the same non-leading ledger I am assigning to this particular company code. Already leading ledger has been assigned to the company code called as the US10. For the leading ledger, I am using the currency called as the USD. So for the same company code, if I am assigning a non-leading ledger, by default, very, very important. The system, what it will do, it will inherit the same currency settings of the leading ledger to the non-leading ledger. There is no deviation in the currency. Same currency will be defaulted here also. So it is also going to be the USD. So very, very important, please. If you have any doubts, please stop me. Please.
One question. So we have three currencies right here. We have USD, and then we have three companies, right? So we assign local currencies, right?
Correct.
In rupees and euro, right? And we are entering as a India company, right? 1010. We are entering in US dollar, and we are using N1. So which currency it automatically come under the picture? So which local currency will pick in for N1?
Okay. So very important thing here is, when you are doing the transactions in the US10,
yes,
automatically USD will be the defaulted.
Okay.
When you are doing the transactions for IN10, I will take the INR as the local currency. When you are doing the transactions in DE10 company code, I will use the transaction currency called as the euro here. But in this example, nowhere I am using the company code IN10. I am doing the posting of the transactions in the US10 company code only. If you take your company code, US10 company code.
Correct.
I'm not using the IN10 company code. Even I own the businesses in India. Even if I'm getting the raw material from the vendor who is at the India, or even I'm selling the goods to a customer who is in India, I will do that, because the sales or the procurements are going to be happening from the US company code, not from the IN10 company code. Very, very important here. So what I'm going to do here, I am using the US10 company code as my legal entity, and for this US10 company code, my local currency is always will be your USD only. Your USD is nothing but your local currency. So whenever I do any transactions in the US10, automatically default ledger will be your leading ledger, sir. There is no doubt. You should not, okay, the system will not ask you to specify which ledger you want to post. Default ledger will be your 0L only. But now, what is the situation here? Until or unless if you don't do any kind of foreign currency transactions, until or unless if you don't have any kind of something like transactions which you are making in other countries, my reporting system will remain as a US GAAP only. There is no worry, because I'm not doing any other transactions for any country. But here the problem comes for me here is, okay, Rahul is an employee working for US10 company code only. Rahul is an employee who is working for US10 company code only. But on the deputation purpose, something like on the deputation for 6 months or 8 months or whatever may be, he is traveling to the country India. But the payments of Rahul, the expenses which are going to be incurred on the Rahul are going to be recorded in the same currency. I'm not using the INR currency over there. I'm using the same currency. Very, very important. But the postings are going to be making in from April to March. Here the problems comes here is, if I take a US calendar year, if I take my US fiscal year, it is from Jan to December. But if I take Indian calendar year, it is from April to March. Here the problem is coming to me. Why? Because if I take a January, okay, now I'm taking a January. Now this accounting entry, okay, salary account is getting debited and my cash or bank account is getting credited. So according to my US, I'm posting the transactions in the first period, that is in the month of January. Clear, all of you, sir? Friends, it is clear to all of you?
Yes, Mahesh.
Mahesh, Mahesh, one question.
Yeah.
It's not a question. If you can clarify that, what would be the transaction currency? For example,
Yeah.
somebody is traveling to India, they are bound to spend in Indian rupees. So the transaction currency is going to be Indian rupees.
Transaction currency is going to be the INR. I'm talking about the local currency. Here. I'm
INR,
talking
yeah.
about the
So
level.
it will be INR. So the accounting, you will be using currency an exchange rate for converting that into US dollar, and
Exactly.
the posting
That is
will be
in the back end. I'm making the specific settings for this exchange rates. It is a bank average or bank selling or bank average. So I'm making some settings in the back end. So I'm not here. I'm not using the transaction currency. I'm talking about the currency which you're getting posted.
You mean a reporting currency?
Yeah, reporting currency.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the US, okay, US 10, it is the first period because I'm posting the salaries, okay, in the month of January, so it will become the first period for me. But when I take a salary in India, the January period is nothing but not the first period, okay, not the first period. The first period is April. But here, if I take the January will become your 10th period. Here, it is coming as the 10th period for me. It is coming as the 10th period now, okay, Indian, okay. So this will become your 10th period. This will become your 10th period. Now, then the complete deviation is there between the fiscal year to fiscal year. Now, what I want to do here is nothing but, okay, now because the reporting system is also completely different. Here I'm using the US GAAP, here I'm using the IFRS. Now for the same company code, I want to have two reporting systems. For the same company, I want to have two reporting systems. One is I want to show the reports in US GAAP, that is at the leading ledger level, and I want to have the reporting system, IFRS level reporting system also, that is for Indian, that is for the Indian transaction. So I want to have two reporting system for one company code. Now what you have to do, yes, already you have maintained one reporting system, that is the leading ledger, that is for the main ledger. This is called as the parent ledger. And what I'm going to do, I'm creating a one more ledger now. I'm creating a one more ledger. That ledger name I'm going to be giving as a N1. But here, the currencies are going to be defaulted with the same currency. There is no, you cannot change also. You cannot change also. Whatever the currency you have been assigned to the leading ledger, the same currency is getting inherited to the non-leading ledger. Non-leading ledger. But there is a deviation is there from the fiscal year to fiscal year. For leading ledger, I am using from Jan to December. But here, for non-leading ledger, what I will do, I will assign the fiscal year from April to March. April to March. Very, very important. This is the concept what I'm going to be doing now. So it is not defaulted as a January to December to the non-leading ledger. So leading ledger is assigned with the Jan to December, whereas for your non-leading ledger, I am assigning from April to March. But when you see the currency is going to be the same defaulted currency. Very, very important. The currency is going to be the same default currency from the leading ledger to the non-leading ledger. Now, what is happening here? Now I can maintain two reporting. So these two ledgers have been assigned to the same company code. These two ledgers have been assigned to the same company code. Now I can assign one accounting principle US GAAP to the leading ledger, and I will create one more accounting principle called as IFRS, and this IFRS reporting principle I will assign to the non-leading ledgers. I will assign to the non-leading ledger. Very, very important. So when I do any kind of transaction postings, to a leading ledger, all the transactions are getting defaulted to the non-leading ledger. But when I'm specifying a non-leading ledger, when I'm doing the transaction, when I'm doing this transaction to this non-leading ledger, not for the OL, I'm entering this transaction for N1, not for the OL. then vice versa, the leading ledgers will not have this impact on the accounting transaction. Very, very important. When I do the transaction posting to the leading ledgers, vice versa, you can, okay, the non-leading ledgers are also going to be in the transaction. But when you're specifically posting the transaction to the non-leading ledgers, there is no vice versa. You cannot derive this accounting transaction to the leading ledger. Very, 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 very important concept this is. So there should be one leading ledger, and you can have multiple non-leading ledgers, depends upon your requirement about the company posting of the transaction. The deviation is only from the fiscal year level. The deviation is only from the financial year level between the leading ledgers and the non-leading ledgers. But the currency settings are going to be the defaulted from the leading ledger to the non-leading ledgers.
So
I'm
Mahesh,
not changing the currency. I'm not changing the currency. Currency is going to be the USD only, but the transactions are getting posted in another period, not in the same period.
yes, Mahesh. So you mentioned, right, non-leading ledger. So non-leading ledger currency always be the same we have for leading ledger, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, so how many leading ledger we have doesn't matter, but
No.
currency.
There will be only one leading ledger, sir. You can have multiple non-leading ledgers.
No, multiple non-leading ledger I'm talking about. If we have
See.
3, but the currency will be the same.
Currency will be the same. See, for example, okay, I'm using N2.
Thanks. Got it.
I'm using N3. Okay, N2, okay, this is for the this is for the IAS reporting, and this is for the local GAAP reporting. Okay, this is for the report. Okay, this is the US GAAP, and I'm maintaining 3 non-leading ledgers for the same company code. One is for IFRS. For all these, the currency will be the currency derived will be the local currency will be the same. But here the deviation only comes, when you are using the different financial years. See, for example, in SAP,
So Mahesh, do we still assign this non-leading currency, or by default it will come from the
by
leading?
default, no need to assignment, by default.
Thanks.
Yeah, see here one example I show now.
Mahesh, question.
Yes, sir.
So the reporting period will be always for another company code. If you are using non-leading ledger, we'll always use it for another company code or another reporting system, like IFRS or IAS.
Company code will be the same.
So a company code will be the same for what will happen to the Indian company, how they will report this.
They will report in their own local currencies, sir. That is for I'm assigning, see, sir, the same leading ledger, you are assigning to all the company codes. Independently, the company code is a legal entity.
So
okay.
Fundamentally, it is for if the fiscal year changes, then we will use a non-leading ledger.
Non-leading ledger.
If a fiscal year changes.
Exactly. See here, in
And
this
also
example.
I'm just trying to clarify. So if it is a different fiscal year, then we will use a non-leading ledger. And also for a different reporting system, we'll use a non-leading ledger.
Different reporting system is nothing but you are using the different fiscal year. In the same parallel, it is coming to the same question, sir.
Now, suppose in the US itself, we may follow 3 different reporting systems. Probably we may need to follow IFRS, US GAAP, as well as So what will happen? We will have to use the 3 different non-leading ledgers.
We had to use 3 different non-leading ledgers. I had to group the non-leading ledgers. Okay, I had to use the 3 different non-leading ledgers with the 3 different reporting. Why? Because I'll tell you one example now.
So so not only it is a fiscal year. What is the leading factor to use a non-leading ledger? Is it a fiscal year change or is it a reporting system?
It is only the reporting system, not based on the fiscal year. Fiscal year change. See, I'll tell you one example. In the same company code, if you are using the 3 different accounting principles, that is for the US GAAP, local GAAP, and IFRS. Okay, then in this case, what I will do, I will not use the ledger concept, sir. No, ledger concept will not come into the picture. Means there are 2 things we need to understand. One is the accounting, one is the ledger specific, another one is the non-ledger specific, sir. So Yeah, if you are using the same company code with the 3 different accounting principle, then the leading ledgers and the non-leading ledgers is not coming. The non-leading ledgers will not come into the picture. Why? Because you are assigning 3 accounting principles to 1 ledger. Then, clear, sir?
3 accounting principles will use for the leading ledger alone.
I'll come, sir. I'll come here. See, sir. I'll tell you one example now. Actually, in SAP, we have ledger specific postings, ledger specific and account specific. Account specific, sir. Okay. Normally, why we are going to be using the ledger specific and account specific? Now I'll explain you the concept here. Now I have only one company code. And I have the leading ledger called as the OL. As I told you that, okay, now leading ledger. So I'm assigning 3 accounting principles. US GAAP, I'm assigning to the same ledger. I'm assigning IFRS to the same ledger. Then I'm assigning the local GAAP to the same ledger. I'm not using non-leading ledgers concept here. I'm not using the non-leading ledger concept over here. So what we want to tell, hey Mahesh, we want to assign all these 3 to the same ledger. So if I come to the SAP, if I select my leading ledger, this is the OL is nothing but my leading ledger. If I go to my accounting principle, if I give my company code 1710 example, I'm giving my company code. I'm using the ledger OL. And this is my company code. Let us assume that this is the US 10 company code. Now, I'll go to the new entry and here I will assign 3 ledgers. Here, what I will do, I will assign the ledger. Okay, I'll assign the 3 different ledgers. Okay, I'll assign the Indian GAAP. And I will assign that example I'm taking. Okay, this example. Okay, now I'm assigning one more ledger. Okay, like this, I'm assigning 3 ledgers. For example, IAS. Okay, now I'm saving the data. Okay. Now here you can see you are not set the indicator parallel accounting by the GL accounts. You just understand this. Okay, GL accounts. I'll tell you what is this. Now the information has been thrown as the GL accounts. Okay. Now what I've done here in the same. Okay, in front of you, I have assigned the 3 different accounting principles. You can see here. Oh my God, sorry. Okay, this information is very, very important. I'll tell you. Okay, so what it is telling. Okay, now here you can see here. Okay, same ledger. OL is nothing but my leading ledger. Okay, and I'm using 3 different principles. I'm using 3 different things. One, okay, IAS, local GAAP, and the local GAAP, and the another one is the Indian GAAP. Now, this concept is not called as the ledger specific concept now. You should not call it as the ledger specific. It is called as the account specific now. You should call it as the account specific, not as a ledger specific. Why? Because if you are maintaining 3 different non-leading ledgers, then I can specify it as the ledger specific. But here you are assigning all the 3 ledgers to one ledger, then this concept is called as account specific, not as. So what I will do, I will create a separate account, GL account, not ledgers. I will create a one GL account for local, for US GAAP, like this. I'll create, okay, now I'll create a one GL account because it is not ledger. You're posting to the GL accounts now. One GL account for local IFRS, and I'll create a one GL account for the local GAAP. This like this. This is what account specific. This is not the ledger. If it is a ledger specific means I'll create 3 non-leading ledgers. I'll create a one non-leading ledger for US GAAP. I'll create a one non-leading ledger for IFRS. I'll create a one non-leading ledger for the local GAAP. Then it is called as a ledger specific. No need to create a separate GL account. No need to create a separate GL account. But here, your requirement is, I don't want the ledgers. I want to have all these 3 accounting principles should be assigned to the same ledger. Then I can call it as account specific, not as a ledger specific postings over here. Clear, sir? Now?
Yes, it is clear, Mahesh.
Okay. Now, In this case, this is the account specific. Now, what is the error? Now, what is the warning it is showing to me? The warning it is showing to me, hey, Rahul, what you are doing, you are assigning 3 accounting principles. You are assigning 3 accounting principles to the same ledger. Then you are deviating from the ledger specific posting. You are deviating from the leading ledgers and the non-leading ledger concept. You want to have the GL account level. So what are you telling? You have not set the indicator parallel accounting by the GL accounts. Means you have to define the GL account for IAS, you have to define for the GL account for the local GAAP, and I have to define the GL account for Indian GAAP. I want to have 3 different GL accounts from today onwards. It is not a ledger specific then. You are not using the non-leading, you are not using the non-leading ledger concept. You are using the just common ECC system level ledger specific posting, account specific postings over here. So what I will do, now what I will do, I will remove all these things. For example, now I'll remove all these things. Okay, now I'm deleting all the 3. See, I'm just saving it. If any postings are there, then it will not allow us. If there are no postings I made, then the system will save. Yeah, okay. Now I'm saving here. Now it is completely vacant. Okay, now it is completely without any ledger specific. See, now it is nothing there. Okay, nothing there. Now what I will do? Okay, now what I will do, I will assign only 1. Okay, I will assign only 1. That is going to be called as IFRS. Only 1 accounting principle to the 1 ledger. Now International Financial Reporting Standard 1. If I save that, that error will not come. See here. If I save that, the system will not show that pop-up box. What I have been shown, that is GL account. Now it will save. See automatically. See, no error, no warning message. Okay, why? Because another three, whatever the another 3, Indian GAAP, another one is the local GAAP, you want to maintain that. I want to maintain in separate ledger. So what I will do here, now I'll create a one more non-leading ledger. Okay, that is N1, and this I'll just make it as a note as a non-leading ledger example. Okay, non-leading. This is for the IFRS reporting example. Okay. This is the non-leading ledger. Just I'm saving. The underlying ledger is always will be the OL, my leading ledger. Okay, now I'll save it. Okay, now okay, already N1 is already there. So I'll create L1. I'll create L1. N1 somebody has already taken. Oh, L1 already taken. I'll take a Z1. Yeah, Z1 is not available. So I've taken a one non-leading ledger called as Z1. This is my non-leading ledger for the IFRS. I'm creating one non-leading ledger. Okay, yes, very, very important. Now the ledger group by default it will create. I'll tell you what is the concept of ledger group in the coming sessions. Very, very important. Now you created, but you're not assigned to any company code. Okay, now what I will do, I'll select this ledger and I will double click on the company code. Now here I'll go to the company code. I'll go to the new entry. This is the new entry. Which company code you want to assign? I want to assign to 1710 company code. This is my US company code. Very, very important. Now, if I press enter, okay, there must be a protocol. Somebody had done some changes. 1 second, I'll make it a setting. 1 second, I'll make it as a setting. Okay, now see here. This is my leading ledger. This is my leading ledger. Now this ledger has been assigned to several companies because you can see these all are nothing but my company codes. Okay, all are my, in this my company code is 1710. 1710 is nothing but my company code. So I'll go to my 1710 company code. Say where is my 1710? This is my 1710 company code. Okay. Now I'll select my 1710 company code. I'll go to the display. This is not a practicals. Just I'm explaining the concept, not a practicals. Okay. Here you can see here. Here you can see here. Okay. So this is my leading ledger. Leading ledger has been assigned to the same company code. Here, what is the, okay. Now here, what is the currency you are using? USD. USD, that is a local currency called as a 10. Just now I told you, it is called as a company code currency. It is going to be called a company. But here, there is a deviation. You are using the calendar year with the April to March. Okay, this is what exactly. Now for the same company code, I will assign one more ledger now. Already leading ledger has been assigned with the currency called as a USD. Now, if I go if I go to the ledgers, and if I select one of the ledger, if I select one of my ledger, that is the Z1, and in the same Z1, I am assigning to the same company code where the leading ledger has been assigned. Automatically, you can see these currency types are automatically grayed out. You cannot enter anything over here. See here, I cannot enter anything. Why? Because just now I told the concept that leading ledgers will inherit the same currency of the leading ledger. No, sir. Non-leading ledgers will inherit the same currency of the leading ledger, where your fiscal year is going to be default. You can enter whatever the fiscal year, April to March or something like whatever, because leading ledger I assign for the same 1710 company code. For same 1710 company code, I'm using for leading ledger, I'm using Jan to December. And for this non-leading ledgers, I'm using April to March. So there is a deviation is there in the fiscal year variant, but not in the currency. You cannot enter your own currency type over here. Automatically, it is getting inherited from the leading ledger. So automatically, it will be the USD only. So like this, you can have multiple accounting principles, and each and every accounting principle. Now, in this case, I'm creating Z1. I'll create a Z2. And here I'll create the Z3. But this concept, GL accounting, because I'm using the ledger specific now, so this concept will not come into the picture. So you're not using this concept, okay, delete it. Because I created separate 3 non-leading ledgers for 3 different companies. So what I'm going to do now, okay, now, yes. So leading ledger is OL, and these are going to be non-leading ledgers. So then you are using the ledger specific transaction. You are using the ledger specific, not the account specific. So there are two accounting principles you have to maintain. One is the ledger specific or accounting. It depends upon the requirement to requirement.
So in ledger specific, you need not enable the parallel accounting, right?
No.
Okay, but if it is account specific, you have to enable the parallel accounting.
Exactly, sir. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is the concept. So I just brought one PPT. Okay, this PPT will explain the concept. Okay, already this is prepared by me. Okay, so here you can see here. So this is what exactly, just whatever the discussion I made, this is what the figure which I'm showing right now. This is the explanation what we have done. So here the leading ledgers, I'm using the non-leading ledger 1, I'm using the non-leading ledger 2, leading ledger I'm using for the gap reporting for the IFRS or something like other non-leading ledgers I created for the local gap, and this non-leading ledger I'm using for the IFRS reporting. All these three have been assigned to the same company code. There is one more called as the extension ledger. We'll discuss in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so this is the concept. Okay, so there must be exactly one leading ledger for a company code. Very, very important. Ledgers and assigned to all the company codes. If you have 3 company codes, in my example, I showed US 10, IN 10, and German 10. That is the DE 10. There are 3 legal entity, 3 legal company codes are there. For every company code, one leading ledger should be assigned. Very, very important. This is the default. Okay, this is the default. Okay. Okay, defines document number. Whenever you're posting any document to the leading ledger, document numbers are going to be generated. Basis for actuals. Okay, full contain the sets of line item in the ECDOCA table. That is very clear. Okay, every company code should be assigned with one leading ledger. Now, when I come to the non-leading, can be assigned to some company codes only. It is okay. See, for example, in our example, I created 3 non-leading N1, N2, and N3. I just Z1, Z2, and Z3 I created. So these 3 ledgers I want to assign to only one company code, not for all the companies. These are only for specifically for US 10 company code, not for IN 10, not for the DN 10. So non-leading ledgers can be assigned to the selected company codes only, not for all the company codes. Contain the full sets of line items in the ECDOCA. So whatever the postings you are making to the non-leading ledgers, it will automatically get posting to the ECDOCA table. No worry. Okay, that's the same thing like what we have discussed in the leading ledger. This is very, very important. Inherit the currency configuration of the leading ledger. Yes, you can't have another currency. If you are assigning the non-leading ledger to the same company code where you assign the leading ledger, where the leading ledger currency is USD, when you are assigning the non-leading ledger to the same company code, you cannot have the different currency. Very, very important. You have to inherit the same currency configuration of the leading ledger to the non-leading ledger. This is a certification question. Whoever appearing for the associate level certifications, this is the certificate. Damn sure this is the certification question. Please, you have to make a note, because I'm telling whichever the certification question means, it is 100% is going to be appear. If you make a note, if I tell this is a certification question, 100% is a certification question in your exam, I'm telling. And deviating from the fiscal year variant and the open posting. Yes, I can have different fiscal years, but the currency can be the same. I just told, in front of you only, I just showed the example also here. So this is the concept of leading ledgers and the non-leading ledger concept. I'm going to share this PPT to all of you. Okay, so just whenever you get a time, just read it and make yourself understand about all these concepts.
Manish, so for document numbers, right? So it's different.
You can maintain different document numbers, sir. It is not okay. Why? Because I cannot use the same document number of leading ledger to the non-leading ledgers.
So we can give the different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is what the point here is very specifically telling that about the different document numbers. If you see a defined document number ranges for all the ledgers, see here. There is a separate specific type of setting is there. Here we can have the different document types with the document number. So if I go into the ledgers, something ledgers, which ledger? Okay, you can specify the ledger here. Okay, do you want to specify for OL or N1 or okay? But leading ledgers always will be default. If I press enter, it will tell that function not permitted for the leading ledger, because leading ledgers always use the entry view. So if you want to have a different document types for the non-leading ledgers, you can use it here. Okay, this is the specific type of setting that I'll explain when you are coming to the classes. Okay, when the next sessions are. Posting to the different non-leading ledgers. Very, very important sessions we are going to be starting. So I want everybody to be get added to the classes. Very, very important. These all are going to be. Why? Because now if we understand the concept of the ledgers, then tomorrow the concept of extension ledger will become very easy. If you're not understanding the concept of leading ledgers and the non-leading ledgers, whatever the class tomorrow we are discussing about the concept called as extension ledger. This is the new ledger which has been introduced in our SAP S/4HANA. We don't have an SAP ECC extension ledger. This is mainly for the adjustment purpose actually. So tomorrow we are going to discuss. Tomorrow's class is completely specifically we are designed for the extension ledgers and the currency types. What currency types we have earlier in SAP ECC, what currency types have been modified in your SAP S/4HANA. So these all are going to be interrelated. We are going to discuss ledger, currency types, okay, non-leading ledgers, accounting principles, ledger group. These all are going to be interrelated with each other. If you understand this concept very thoroughly, then the remaining portion, what it will be, just like a cakewalk for you. Just I'm telling that it will definitely become a cakewalk for you. Why? Because you know the basics. You understand the basics very thoroughly. So the remaining, whatever the GL accounting, whatever the payables, whatever the receivables, whatever the asset accounting we are discussing, that just it will become a cakewalk for you. The foundation stone is completely depends on these ledgers, currency types, accounting principles, everything. Very, very important. If your basics are thorough, then everything will become very easy for you, I'm telling. Just follow my instructions, then definitely you will be on the top of the flow, I'm telling. Okay, thank you very much for all of you.